Today, I'm excited to introduce to you the Tree Topper Bundle. This is an interactive die set, but it can also be used as a standalone project for your cards. We have a coordinating stamp set with a lot of fun, bold sentiments. And of course, on the back of the packaging, it gives you ideas on how to use the die set. I'll be going over how to put that together in just a little bit. First, let's take a look at these big, bold sentiments. We have "'Tis the Season," and you can do "To Deck Those Halls," "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas," "It's the Best Time of the Year," and "Hooray." And then there's also 3 individual stars that you can use to either decorate your tree or just around your tree. Then here is a closer look at the die set. So we will walk through all of the pieces, starting with the hand and the sleeve at the very top and also the star. We have some sprigs. There's 3 different ones there, so you can really use those to die cut from various shades of cardstock. We have the ornaments that you can layer up to create different colors. We have a tree to add your star to. And then we also have the interactive pieces. So there's these 3 pieces that provide the word glue. So it tells you exactly where to put your glue. And there's also some pre-scored lines on there that the die provides. There's also one more die in here. It is a long, skinny rectangle. I'm going to show you that one as we start working on the interactive portion. So you can certainly use that arm, putting a star on top of your tree kind of on its own on a card front, but it's going to be really fun and easy to put it together into an interactive feature. So first, I thought I would show you what it actually does before we jump into it. Now, I have just some simple presents on the front of my card, and then as we open it up, the hand comes down to put the star on top of the tree. And I just had to do a Grinch hand in his Santa suit, putting that star on the top. I thought that would be just a super cute and fun idea. Now, that long, skinny rectangle is what is hiding our interactive mechanism. So you don't really see it, and you can decorate that any way you want, whether it's by stamping on it, maybe using some pattern paper, or stamping with the Turnabout collection. Any way you want to have it. I just have some plain cardstock here to show you what it does. Now let's jump into some of the pieces you'll need to do this interactive portion. First, we have the arm with the star that you would layer up with the sleeve. We have these 3 pieces that I die cut from Ballet Slippers cardstock. Those have those pre-scored lines on there. I also have my tree, my star, and then some little embellishments to decorate around my tree and add ornaments to the tree. Now, here is that long, skinny strip. It is measured out perfectly to fit on top of our mechanism, so it's going to hide that interactive feature right there. Another thing you're going to need is a pre-scored side folding card base. So I already have one here with my score line in the middle, and I'm going to set these off on the side and just start putting these pieces together that we're going to need for the interactive portion. Starting with adding the sleeve to my hand and also the star, just kind of turning it to make sure it fits properly in the right direction. And now we can move on to those 3 interactive pieces. So these 2 are the same size, the same thing. They have 3 score lines on them. So I am just going to fold in on those score lines, and then I will reinforce those folds with a bone folder. So the 2 ends have the word glue etched on them, and that is exactly where we need to put our glue. Concord and Ninth is very good about thinking out their interactive dies. Once we kind of fold it up a little bit, you're going to see it's going to create that square. And these are kind of support to our interactive portion. So again, just folding along those score lines and reinforcing those folds on that second piece. Now we have this third one, which is a little longer, and I'm bringing it up close to the camera so you can see how it is going to fold together. There is that V on the top. That is actually going to fold in, and you'll see this come together. Again, just going along those main score lines first. So I started at the ends. Then we have one that's a little bit off center, and then we have that dip. So what I do is I kind of push with my fingernail to crease that V just a little bit. And when this folds up, that V is going to fold in. So you'll see it as I go. You do kind of have to finagle it just a little bit, play with it to get it to fold in on itself. And I consider this like a mini file folder. You can see when it folds up, it kind of looks like a file folder to me, or file folder container. and that is our bigger piece. So this is what we are going to be doing or using for our interactive piece. Now we have our side folding card base that I already kind of folded in half. I opened it up to the center of the card. Now I have that interactive piece that had that V that folded in on it. So I'm going to fold it up on that score line. So you can see the bigger part is going to face up. I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue, put it on the shorter side where it says glue, add a little bit of liquid glue, and then I'm going to flip it over. So this is the bigger side of it that is facing up towards the camera right now. My glue is on the bottom, and I line up that tab that says glue. I line it up flush with the middle fold. I apologize if I'm not explaining it very well. It's a lot easier to just watch on camera than it is to put some of these into words. I am using liquid glue because it does give me a little bit of wiggle room. Now I'm going to add liquid glue to that second tab, and I'm going to close my side folding card base. I let it sit for a few seconds, let that liquid glue become tacky, and then open this up all the way open so it's flush. Now that's why I like using the liquid glue is I have that little bit of wiggle room to kind of adjust it where it needs to really be. And then as we fold it, you can see how that V kind of goes in as we fold. That's what's going to be our interactive piece and make our arm move. So you can rewatch that as many times as you need to. The folding does take a little bit to get used to. Now I'm coming in to those two smaller pieces that are exactly the same. What's going to happen is we are adding the glue right to where the die cut piece says glue on it. The main thing is you want the center crease of that piece to line up with your crease of your card base. I'll do it again here on screen for you. The other thing with the liquid glue, you need to be careful it doesn't, you add, excuse me, don't add too much liquid glue because if it kind of squishes out, you're going to glue these pieces shut. You can see I used my tweezers there to make sure that it popped open because we really want that to pop open. We don't want it to be glued shut. Now here's that second piece. Again, folded it so the two tabs are folded in on itself. Add the glue, flip it over, line up the crease of that tab with the crease of the card. I like to open and close mine multiple times because I want to make sure that for one, it's going to lay nice when it's open and also that it's going to fold nicely when I shut it. So I was just kind of showing you a top view. You got your two rectangles or squares at the top and the bottom, and then our interactive piece here in the center. I do also want to stress to make sure or watch your placement of this centerpiece because if you put it too high, then when you close your card, your fingers are going to extend past the top of the card. Now I'm adding my arm. So you can see how the top of the arm is flush with the top of that V piece. You only need to add glue in that little tab that says glue. You don't need to add it any further than that because otherwise it would obstruct our mechanism. I did speed portions of this up. I did hold everything down for maybe about 5-10 seconds with the liquid glue to make sure it is adhered really well. Like I said, I like to work with it when it's tacky, so that gives me some time to move things around where I need to. Now to add that top panel, I am adding liquid glue to the left-hand side of those tabs and then adding that rectangle over the top. So this rectangle is flush with the top and the bottom and flush with the edge of those tabs. Again, you can pause this, rewind it at any point to watch it again. So that long strip hid our mechanism, and now we can decorate the rest of the card. I waited till I had my arm in here and made sure everything adhered down correctly before I start kind of decorating with the tree. I could also put the tree in the correct placement of where the arm is going to come down and put the star on the top. These little ornaments are off of the die set from the tree topper. There is also a heart and I think a star in there too. I die cut them out of wildberry cardstock and added a few ornaments to my tree. These little kind of asterisk type of things I die cut from a gold glitter cardstock, and I believe these came from the Nutcracker set. I went ahead off screen and finished decorating the front of my card. I'm going to leave the top of that interactive portion open. You can stamp a sentiment. But I figured that'd be a great place to write a message. So as we open up the card, the arm is coming down to put the star on top of the tree. It is super cute. So that is my completed project for that. Here again is my Grinch card. I just love this one with his green hand. I used Sprout cardstock for my Grinch, and I just thought that was a really fun idea. And now here is a card I created just using some of the smaller elements. You could have a hand coming in from the edge of the oval to put a star on top of your tree. But instead, I just went for these layered ornaments and the sprigs on the top. I thought it was a really simple way to create a card where you don't need to have the hand or the interactive portion, and you're getting more use out of the dies in this set. So I hope I did an okay job of explaining how this interactive portion works. It is actually really easy to do once you kind of get the hang of the folds. I hope you enjoyed today's inspiration and introduction to the Tree Topper bundle. Thanks for watching.